Yo guys, I'm the counter back on the video, and today guys we're going to be ranking all of Phase 4 Marvel film and series and specials. All of Phase 4, we're going to be ranking them all from the last place to first place. So let's just go through the whole list of Phase 4. WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Loki, Black Widow, What If, ShangChi, Eternals, Hawkeye, Spider-Man No Way Home, Moon Knight, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, Miss Marvel, Thor 4, I Am Groot, SheHulk, Werewolf by Night, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, and Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. That's all 18 projects. Let's jump into the list. So 18th and 17th I've not seen, which is Eternals and Miss Marvel, they're last. Doesn't matter, I'm not going to see them anyway. So 16th, let's go. I Am Groot. This is last because it's just like, what, 2 minutes of I Am Groot, like 5 episodes. There's nothing much going on. The show was alright. I mean, there's nothing much going on. It's just there. So 15th, we got She-Hulk. She-Hulk wasn't a good show at all. There was only 2 good episodes. Episode 1 and episode 8. Daredevil 1 and the one with Hulk in it at the beginning. And the rest of the show was so bad. It was pretty much just ass. It was a comedy show, but the comedy, most of it didn't even land. You know, they were too short. They were like 30 minutes long. Sometimes they were like 20 minutes long. The plot was just there. It was kind of just... It's just She-Hulk. It's just, I don't know what it was. It was a weird show. It wasn't really good. It wasn't really interesting. The fights weren't even good. The best part was probably Hulk versus Abomination, which was only 4 seconds long, which is kind of annoying. Yeah, the finale was really terrible. Like, I kind of wanted to see the whole Hulk versus Abomination fight and everyone just fighting, and they just cut it off and did some like Kevin Feige robot thing. What are they doing? Out of 10, I got to give the show like a 3 out of 10. Yeah, like the Daredevil episode was the whole 3 out of 10 bit, because like that episode alone was really good. Like that's worth rewatching a couple times, because that's a good episode. But yeah, the rest of it pretty ass. 14th place we got the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. Now I don't really have anything wrong with this. It's just like Drax and Mantis going on a little adventure, getting Kevin Bacon for Star-Lord's Christmas present. And it's kind of funny, you know, it's got some funny bits here and there. There's not too much action. There's a little bit with Drax versus some cops and stuff. Yeah, it's mostly just comedy. It's like a Christmas thing. There's not much there. It's probably like average 5 out of 10. In 13th place, we got Thor, Love and Thunder. Now, this film was pretty trash. I liked it when I watched it, kind of. I gave it like a 6 out of 10 when I first watched it. But, you know, when you rewatch it, you kind of realize how ass it is. It's got cool parts here and there, but... The best part about it is Thor, but Thor, the comedy is overused and it doesn't land most of the parts. Korg is annoying in it. I don't really like Korg now. He was wicked in Ragnarok, but in this one he was trash. Valkyrie, she had some bits and bobs here. Gore, you had a potential of a really good villain, and they didn't really show much of him, you know. Christian Bale, like, come on, they kind of wasted his potential. It could have been, like, really good, but they just kind of messed it up. Definitely with the yaks doing the... Giant goats! Oh, look at... Yeah, all that rubbish, like... We don't really care about all that crap. Zeus, he was ruined. What a trash character. He was terrible in it. I gotta drop that down to like a 4 out of 10, man. In 12th place, these 12, 11 and 10, I could put these 3 in either places. Doesn't really matter, but I had to make some last minute changes, and 12th we got Hawkeye. Hawkeye was, you know, there's nothing really wrong with Hawkeye. The overall show was pretty solid. The finale's the best part, with Kingpin coming in and just whooping everyone's ass. Yelena, she's really good in it. Echo's alright. Like, I don't really... She's a good fighter in that, but there's nothing much there. The story's just kind of chill. It's cool, though. It's not a bad show. Like, it's generally not a bad show. I haven't got much wrong with it. Kate Bishop, though, like, she was the main character, basically the main character. And her character is like a 5 out of 10. Like, I don't hate her. I don't love her a lot. She's just kind of in the middle. Yeah, I don't really care too much about it. She did some cool parts here and there, but most of the time, I'm just there for Hawkeye, and even Hawkeye's not like one of the best characters in the world, but he's trying to like be the best character in his own show. Oh, by the way, I would rate Hawkeye like a 7 out of 10, the show. In 11th place, we have Black Widow. This one, I actually really like this film until the bit with Taskmaster. This one really pissed me off. It's so frustrating. Like, they could have had a perfect film, basically. Well, near enough 8 out of 10 film. Well, the Taskmaster bit alone was so annoying. The fact that they did that. Like, I feel like the movie's a 7 out of 10. It could have been an 8 if they didn't do the whole Taskmaster rubbish. They should have had Taskmaster be the villain that he's supposed to be, not just for the plot or the guy's daughter or something. Yeah, they kind of ruined Taskmaster completely. But other than that, everything else was really good about the film. Like, the action was good. The story was like, that's alright. I actually really liked Red Guardian as well. His comedy was pretty good. Okay, in 10th place, we got Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Now, this show is alright, you know. I liked the first couple episodes. The fifth one was terrible. I don't even know what was the point of watching that one. But the first fight and the fifth one were, you know, Falcon, Winter Soldier versus John Walker. Oh, that fight was beautiful. But the main issue is John Walker, his whole character through the whole show pissed me off so much, man. And he's made to be someone that is going to piss you off because I just hate the guy. Falcon, he's just doing his bits in there. Winter Soldier is really the only reason to watch this show because he's like the best part in it. Falcon, he's just trying to be sick, but he's just shit. He looks stupid as well in the costume at the end in the last one. It doesn't really look like it fits him right. But he did have some cool fight scenes with the shield and that kind of. I mean, the best guy was, what's his name? Batroc, right? The best guy was Batroc. He was a sick fighter, you know, the UFC guy. I love just seeing him in it more. I wish he would have beaten Captain America, though. Wish he would have beaten Falcon in the last one. But he died as well, which is annoying, because he was one of the best Donnies in the show. And then you hold this whole dumbass twist with Sharon Carter. Forgot what they called her, but she was like the twist villain at the end, which is really shit because like she's supposed to be one of the good guys and all. War Machine cameo that doesn't make any sense because of Secret Invasion. That was really shit. That kind of ruined everything. I got to give that a 7 out of 10 as well. The action was pretty good in the show. Like overall, the action was pretty good. Moving on to 9th place, we have Black Panther 2. Wakanda Forever, and you know this was a very emotional film from the start, you know, with Chadwick Boseman and everything dying. So obviously the mum, you know, when the mum died, yo, that was some next level shit. But yeah, there was a good emotional stuff in this film. Namor was probably really good. I really enjoyed Namor, but Shuri as Black Panther though, I didn't really buy into all that. The way her fight scene and everything went, it was a bit stupid. I mean, this man like Namor has apparently got the strength of Hulk, yeah, or similar. He's getting beat by Black Panther, like, explain that, like, what? Michael B. Jordan's cameo was the best part, like, that shit was clean. My favourite scene was the whole action scene in Wakanda, that was the best part. I really enjoyed that a bit. And M'Baku, oh mate, when it came in, yo, he was sick. He was so funny throughout the whole film. He was a wicked character. But, you know, there's some really shit parts of the film, like Ironheart, she was ass. Hated Ironheart's character. She was just annoying. Like her suit at the end looks stupid as well. It's just a rip-off Iron Man. Like, we don't need Iron Man, just leave him alone. Yeah, she was shit. Obviously the mum was probably one of the best. Her acting in it, yo, Angela Bassett killed it. So yeah, I think that film's like a 7 out of 10. So I still got some issues with it as well. But yeah, overall it's pretty solid though. It's not bad. Like it's a decent film. In 8th place we have WandaVision. Now, this show was the first show of Phase 4, and I really actually enjoyed this show, but there was a lot of problems with it as well. I mean, the best thing that happened was episode 5 when Quicksilver showed up. And that, yo, the whole internet went crazy. I mean, I definitely went crazy when I saw Evan Peters. Now, Evan Peters is my favourite version of Quicksilver. Now, every now and again, I would watch his scenes from X-Men. I love Quicksilver. I'm a massive fan of Evan Peters' Quicksilver. And seeing him again, I lost my mind. I was jumping through the roof. I was going into space when I saw that guy. And then when you get to episode 9, you figure out they ruined everything. And it's just a shitty Ralph Boner. Like, what are they doing? Like, that was a killer for me, man. I was like, damn. Agatha Harkness. She was an alright villain, you know. I kind of rate her. The best episode is the episode 9 when they all fight and everything. I still like WandaVision, just like the little bits here and there, like putting it to pieces every week. We're like, yo, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Because they always had some like weird thing going on. It was interesting, you know what I mean? It was interesting. Definitely the first time watching. It's not something you can rewatch though. Like, for the first time watching, it's really, really nice. The worst parts about the show was Monica Rambeau. The worst character ever. She had the dumbest lines. I can't even speak of how dumb that character was. Every time I saw her, I just died, man. The episode 7 was the worst episode in the whole season. WandaVision, I think, is overall, I'd say it's like a 7 out of 10 still. In 7th place is Werewolf by Night. Now, originally, I had this at 4th place. Now, it got dropped down a little bit because I was like, it's kind of hard with all these Marvel films that came out. It's kind of hard seeing where to place them. But I did originally have this at 4th. And I had some time to think about it. I was like, you know what? Maybe I could put this higher. Maybe I could drop this. So yeah, I'll put this in 7th. But this, I got to say, it's like a 9 out of 10. I'm not even lying. I really enjoy Werewolf by Night. There's nothing wrong I have about it. Because Man-Thing was cool when he showed up. I liked the story that they had. It was just, what, about 35 minutes of the runtime, and the violence, because it was in black and white, I kind of liked that. The werewolf at the end, that was badass when he came in, just killing all the soldiers and everything. It was nice, man. Elsa Bloodstone, there's not too much like I dislike about the character. She's just decent. I feel like I like her more than Kate Bishop, and I only saw her for like half an hour. Solid special to watch. In 6th place, we've got Doctor Strange 2 in the Multiverse of Madness. I think this is definitely an 8 out of 10. I give this an 8 out of 10, but obviously, when I watched it for the first time, it was in 3D and I loved it, man. I've seen all the effects and everything. Obviously, at that time, everyone was just saying some insane cameos were going to happen, insane this and that. It was all this cameo stuff. Obviously, we got like half of it, but we didn't get like the mad spectacle that we thought we were going to get. So, obviously, it got disappointed a little bit because obviously the internet hyped it up way too much, way too much. But when you just sit down and watch it, I think I've watched the film 4 times now. Yeah, I've watched it 4 times, but not like fully. But I enjoy it though. Everything with Wanda in it is pretty much perfect. The whole Scarlet Witch story is amazing. I really, really enjoyed Scarlet Witch being the villain. Like, she was so badass. How she just killing everyone. Killed Mr. Fantastic, Black Bolt, Captain Marvel, all them. Nothing to Scarlet Witch. I just love the power levels. Especially that Illuminati scene was so good. Loved it. And the best character, Professor X, showing up gives me chills every time. Just hearing that theme song. Oh, it's badass, man. I love that scene. And Doctor Strange, you know, I feel like he was the main character, but he didn't really like shine, you know. I feel like Wanda, this was her film, and Doctor Strange was kind of on the back burner. But he did his thing. He did some cool things here and there. The only thing that I kind of annoyed was America Chavez. I really did not like her character at all. Don't like her at all. But obviously, I understand it because you need her for the story and everything because she like teleports through multiverse and all that stuff. So you kind of need her. You can't really do the film without her. So I understand it, but I just don't rate it. Wong was cool as shit. You gotta love Wong because he's a badass, isn't it? 5th place, we have Loki. And no, this was a surprise because obviously the whole story with this and the whole time stuff is very like crazy to think about the multiverse and everything, how they like control time manipulation, how they just got the Infinity Stones in their locker or something. Like what? Like, you know, it's just crazy if you think about how powerful these guys are. And the whole show itself is just, every episode when it ends, it's like, yo, what is going to happen? And it just leaves you just wanting more straight away. Every week was crazy. It's a lot like WandaVision where it's like every week, what's going to happen? Like, you're on your toes. Is it going to be Doctor Doom? Is it going to be Kang? Like, and then it was Kang in the end, and it's not how you think the mad final battles are going to be. No, it's just Loki and Sylvie and Kang just sitting down talking. But that scene alone was so nice. Loved it. Just them explaining Kang's great plan that he went through and how his old brothers are like the multiverse war. If you kill me, then you're having all my other Kangs will come and kill you anyway. So you guys can take the throne and be Time Lords. And bro, the whole thing was so good. And that's why like Sylvie kind of pissed me off when she killed Kang, because obviously you know the consequences are going to happen. But at the end of the day, I kind of don't really care because like we're going to get some mad ass Kang fights, and this also sets up Kang Dynasty and, you know, Secret Wars and everything. So it's going to be insane either way. It's Sylvie's character, so she's going to do that. So yeah, the Loki show was really nice. I think, you know what though, I reckon it's like a 8.5, 9 out of 10. Like Loki was a good ass show. Like it's a very, very good. There's nothing really wrong with it. Obviously, there's not too much action heavy. There are action scenes here and there, but it's just really cool just seeing Loki because he's one of the best villains in the whole thing. And the first episode was probably my favorite episode. Just seeing him watch himself die and his whole what happened in Thanos and, you know, Thor 2 and Avengers and everything. Just him watching himself die. That was such an emotional scene, and seeing him react, it's like the god of mischief. Yeah, man, that's why Loki is the GOAT. In 4th place, we got Moon Knight. Now, Moon Knight was a sick-ass show. But actually, you know what? The more I think about it, I'm going to switch it. Boom! Loki is in 4th place, and I'm going to drop Moon Knight down to 5th place, because I think Loki just about tops it. I'm having some more time to think about it and that. But Moon Knight, I think overall the show is about an 8 out of 10. So yeah, Loki's about a 9 out of 10. I think Loki is definitely better. Just a little bit better than Moon Knight. Moon Knight was a really good show. It's just, I think, what it just lacks on... The story, I think, is one of the best stories in the whole of Phase 4. Just the story, I think, is really, really nice. It's, like, really engaging. I feel like the problem, though, I feel like there's not enough Moon Knight in there. He only like pops up for like a minute or two each episode. Episode 4 and 5, he's not even in it, and then episode 6, he comes back again. Like, there's just not enough Moon Knight in the show Moon Knight. I feel like that's just the part where they kind of could have had more of him, because there wasn't enough of Moon Knight really in his own show. But they did have Mr. Knight as well, which was cool. Steven was an amazing character, but Mark was my guy. Mark Spector. Now, I loved him from the start to finish. Really good story. And then you had the secret Donnie at the end of it. Bam, bam, bam. Who shot? I forgot the villain's name. I think my favourite episode was definitely the last one. Final battle, crazy ass fighting the moon shot where he kicks him. Bam! Knees him in the head. I liked Layla as well. Layla was a great character in this. I love the whole twist as well, where we see Mark creating Steven when he was younger, because he had a younger brother. That guy died. They kind of created this personality thing. That's why he's got the split identity personality thing. And it's so cool. And then, you know, episode 5 where they're working together. There's 2 of them. And I really like that as well. That's pretty good. So in 3rd place, we have What If. Now, this show alone was so good. So good from start to end. The only episode I think wasn't that good was episode 1, Captain Carter 1. I wasn't all the way there. It was about a 6 out of 10 episode, that one. But it was alright. It had some parts either there. But every other episode, I think it's like a 10 out of 10 at least. Easy. Every other episode in What If was so good. I loved it. But I loved all the scenarios. The Doctor Strange episode was so good. I loved that episode. Zombies one was cool. Seeing all the zombies in there dying. The best one though, 8 and 9. 8 and 9. Ultron. What if Ultron had the Infinity Stones and everything? Seeing his power levels, destroying everything, fights the Watcher. Yo, that episode alone, and seeing all the Avengers team up from every different episode that we saw all team up to get together. Yo, trying to stop this guy, and the Doctor Strange power levels. That mad Doctor Strange, man, was crazy. It was basically him versus Ultron. It was amazing. It was generally amazing to see that. So I really enjoyed every episode of What If. 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 show, man. Basically 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 show. I don't even have a problem. I have a couple problems, but 10 out of 10 overall. 10 out of 10. 2nd place, we have ShangChi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Now, this is a film that was easily 10 out of 10. The amount of action we get in this. There's about 14 different fight scenes in this that I love all of them. Bus one is one of the best standout fight scenes on the bus. That one was alone sick. I just love the fight action choreography. The fight between Shang-Chi and his dad at the end. Yo, that was so fire. All the rings going around. Both of them as well. Both of them was clean. This is the action for me, because I'm an action guy. I love all the action scenes, and there's just so much action. It's such a god tier film. I think I've seen it 4 times and I loved it every single time. I feel like it gets better and better every time I see it. And there's generally nothing wrong with it, because even like the girl character, comedy girl, I forgot her name though, she's kind of annoying at parts, but overall she's alright. The story is decent. My favourite character in it is Shang-Chi's dad. I just really, really love the Mandarin, man. I think his character arc and how everything went with him, it makes sense. He lost his wife, man's regret, he wants it, and then, you know, evil dragon thing that's controlling him and everything. Like, he's badass. It's a great film. And number 1, we have Spider-Man No Way Home. Now, this was easily going to be number 1. 10 out of 10 film, obviously. We had Andrew Garfield. We had Tobey Maguire coming back, man. You know how crazy that is? And obviously, we had Doc Ock, Green Goblin, Sandman, Electro, all of my favourite villains. My favourite guys, all my favourite Spider-Man, all in the same film. You know how crazy that is? It's so good, man. It was such an amazing experience. I had to see that 3 times in the theatre. 3 times I watched that in the theatre. And I've seen the film at least 5-6 times. 5-6 times I've seen that film. It's one of those films where I can generally watch a lot, because I generally really enjoy it every time I watch it. All the characters coming back, man, from the Raimi films, from the Mark Webb films, all the characters and interacting with each other. The villain scene alone, I think, is my favourite scene. Just the villains talking to each other. That scene alone is my favourite, just talking about how they died and all this. That interaction was so cool. Obviously, Tom Maguire, the GOAT, the OG, coming back, doing this thing, man. My back hurts, shit. But yeah, it was a nice Easter eggs film. There was a lot of shit in there, but yeah, that was number 1 for me. So yeah, there we go. That's all of Phase 4 ranking. This was quite a long video, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you would rank Phase 4 out of the films you've seen. And yeah, this is the end of the video, guys. Like and subscribe. See you guys next time. So a bit peace.